For the first time in 5 years, SmackDown Live made its return to the USA Network after coming off a brilliant run on Fox network television. What does the Blue brand, and sometimes considered the number two show in WWE, brought to the table as it was headlined by a WWE Championship match to be locked in the confines of the 15-foot high steel tempered cage? Well, this is the only place you're going to find that where we will smack your internet every week. This is the Cerebral Smack Talk. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It's Gil MF Michael Fletcher alongside the boys, Anthony Foyle, Michael Bullock. A short show tonight, guys, because of the fact that there's only one thing we're going to be covering. Smackdown Live. That's right. The return to the USA Network. And we had ourselves a barn burner. It kicked off the first 30 minutes commercial free on the house. And well, starting out with a promo by Triple H, welcoming everybody, thanking Fox Network for the 5 years that they did, but they were very glad and happy to be back on USA. And then we started it off with the match that was the highly anticipated one for the undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment Heavyweight Championship. The champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, the challenger, Solo Sikoa. And when it was all said and done, the winner of the bout, now I don't have an official time, but I believe it was between 16 to 18 minutes, and still the undisputed WWE champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Great way to start it. Perfect way to just encapsulate the 30 minutes commercial free, because that's exactly what we got. This was an excellent matchup. It was a good battle, and Cody and Solo went all over the place with this one. Using the cage as a weapon, as it normally would pertain to. Cody winning it clean. And then on top of that, right after that was over, unfortunately, the attack started.
We have lost good old MF Michael Fletcher. I don't know what happened here. Hello, friends. Anthony Florio here. As we are going to await MF's return here. Not sure what happened, but okay, we got MF back. Okay, go ahead, MF.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button. My bad. And when it was all said and done, it was absolutely a great matchup, to say the very least. The right man won. The right man won. 16 minutes, 34 seconds time of the fall. But like I said, this was exactly the way that it needed it to be. 3 or 3.5. After the match was over, the Bloodline tried to jump in to try to beat down on Cody after he won the match, only to get interrupted by the OTC. Roman Reigns rolls in, clears everybody out of the cage. Even there was a moment where he even dared Jacob Batu, get in here. We got unfinished business. Jacob Batu was more than ready to take on the tribal chief. Someone was like, no. This is not the time, not the place. We're not doing this. No. Trust me. You gotta trust me on this. You don't want Roman Reigns like that. Roman Reigns looks like he was in a killer instinct mood. Trust me, son. Trust me, buddy. I'm protecting you for your own good. You don't want that one. I don't know. The thing is, Jacob Batu is not afraid of Roman Reigns. It's abundantly clear. Roman Reigns is ready for a fight, and Jacob Batu is not scared of Roman Reigns. He doesn't give a shit. That's the OTC. He doesn't give a shit that's the original tribal chief because in the mindset of Jacob Batu, when it comes to that, he doesn't give a damn. He might tear Roman Reigns limb from limb. He might kick his ass and say, "Screw you, Roman Reigns. Screw you, Tribal Chief. You can kiss my ass for all I care." So Solo might have been thinking, "I'm doing you a favor for getting out of there," but trust me, something tells me Jacob Fatu is not afraid of Roman Reigns. And quite frankly, if Roman and him go at it, oh my God, lock the place down. That's gonna be a fight and a half. Nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, it is all yours, bro.
Well, I'll tell you, MF, this was a great match that showed the chemistry these two have developed. But I got to be honest, it felt a bit lackluster in some ways. It's tough to say if it was the pace or a lack of violence. The big moments hit, so that helped a lot. And yeah, after failing to win with a crossbody from the top rope, Cody scored the win to retain his title. The Bloodline showed up and attacked Cody in the cage. Jacob Fatu was about to hit a splash from the top of the cage, but was distracted by Roman Reigns. And the OTC entered the cage and began taking out everyone. Jacob Fatu saved Solo from a spear before squaring off with Roman. Solo dragged him out while Tama and Loa went after Reigns. Rhodes and Reigns took them out before having a tense stare-off. And you saw Cody was legit busted open the hard way. And the way Cody landed from the superplex did not look fun. I got to say this was the fight of the night for me. I'm going to give this an excess of 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. Excellent match. Great way to jump it off. And, well, let's just say this is not the last time that we're going to be addressing these guys because something big happens at the end of the show. Little hook for you all. So not much more to say. 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. Great matchup. Fight of the night for me. So not much more to say. Phenom Michael Bullock, come on in. It's all yours.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, this is a great jump off. To start off, SmackDown's return to the USA Network, of course, starting, of course, with Triple H, but then you get the title match right off the bat. I mean, this was a perfect way to do it, and I mean, it could have been better in some areas, but all in all, I'm not really going to complain that much about it. It was still a damn good match. 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. I mean, these two really, and they certainly built that chemistry in the ring. And yeah, after the match, the Bloodline looked like they were gonna be the ones to get the last laugh on Cody Rhodes until the original Tribal Chief Roman Reigns returned and took out the Bloodline. It looked like he was gonna take out Jacob Fatu, but Solo's like, no, we're not fighting on his terms. We're gonna do it on our terms. Yeah, so yeah, like you said, this is not going to be the last you hear of these individuals. You'll find out later on during this recap. So nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, with that said, then we move on to the next match of the evening. Let me just double check just to see where we're at. Okay. Unfortunately, this is a cutout match. It was Piper Niven versus Meechin. Meechin winning the match in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. We're just gonna move right on along. Then next up, it was supposed to have been Kevin Owens and a mystery partner against Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Now, initially, they had a guy, looked like a local guy, local jobber. His name was Ricky. And it looked like that was going to be the guy. Kevin Owens even admitted that, it wasn't going to, I was, the partner I had in mind was stuck in traffic. He can't make it. So I'm grabbing this guy. This is not really the guy I was hoping for. But at the end of the day, all right, fine. He's my guy. He's my partner. And I got him. Then before the match even got going, a female attendant was saying, wait, hold. I'm getting word that, he's here. He's here. Your partner is here. So Kevin's all excited. Stuns Ricky. Poor Ricky. I mean, the dude didn't even stand a chance. And the next thing we know, guess who his partner is? The Viper, Randy Orton, much to the delight of the fans, much to the chagrin of A-Town Down Under. And it was indeed Randy Orton and Kevin Owens winning the match in 9 minutes and 24 seconds. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
I'm going to answer your question first. Who is Ricky? I know exactly who Ricky is. He is Ricky Gibson, one half of the tag team Midnight Heat, alongside Eddie Pearl. Gibson has been in the wrestling industry since debuting all the way back in 2005, working primarily on the independent circuit for promotions such as WCWC. And Midnight Heat, on September 29th, at a prestige wrestling event in 2 weeks, Midnight Heat is going to be squaring off against FTR. How about that?
Oh.
How about that, huh? How's that for investigative reporting? So
Good work, my friend.
Thank you. So you know how seriously I take my research. So, but anywho, for the match itself, 3 stars. Simple but entertaining tag match. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens continue to be a crowd-pleasing duo with great chemistry, and that's really all there is to say here. Shown sitting in the crowd, you saw before this match, you saw Hall of Famer Rob Van Dam, Miss Excuse Me herself, Vicky Guerrero, and World Heavyweight Champion Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser of Imperium. And even Corey Graves knows nobody can superplex Kevin Owens. And KO running around the ring to make a tag was great. Third best fight of the night. This was a solid 3-star match. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I was not at all surprised that the mystery partner was Randy Orton. I had that the whole time. So I saw that coming from a mile away. And I know when Orton came out, MF marked out, and perfect commentary moment. When we hear the music, I do the, oh no. And then MF goes, yes. And then you're like, listen to this. And then you do the they're on their feet to greet that man. Like, oh God.
The 14-time world champion, the Apex Predator, the Legend Killer. Yep. Randy Orton's in the building.
And then they show you standing up, marking out like a little kid. I mean, and me with that mortified look on my face. I'm like, oh God. But nonetheless, fun little moment there. Yeah, that Orton and Owens team, I'm telling you. I mean, maybe you never know. Could there be a possibility of them going for the tag title someday? I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's something to think about. But for right now, this is a solid 3-star match. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, as far as this mystery partner thing goes, I knew it was going to be Randy Orton all along. I saw it coming from a mile away. I'm sure you did too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were like, I'm not buying this whole mystery partner BS. I mean, I knew it was going to be Randy Orton the whole time. I mean, especially since we've seen them together for a while, so you knew it had to be him. So, yeah, a 3-star match. I mean, it was fun and entertaining. I mean, the outcome was never in doubt here. So, yeah, nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Next up, we had on the fight card the 5th match of this incredible series between Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. The winner of the bout in roughly 10 minutes and getting 3 matches to 2. Illegal. Andrade wins it. Michael Bullock, it is all yours.
I'll tell you what. I mean, this was another solid match between these two, and I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Whenever you get these two in the same ring, you know it's going to be something special. I mean, when it comes with the body of work of Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, and another match between these two, and another solid encounter here. So I'll give this about maybe 3.25 stars, maybe teetering on 3.5. So, but yeah, the right. This to me was the right outcome. So it's yours, Fletch.
Right outcome, right winner, and because of it, he now gets to face off with LA Knight for the United States Heavyweight Championship next week on SmackDown. There was, there was that light at the end of the tunnel, and for that outcome to become what it was, I think that's exactly the great way to end it. If this was the end, and they end this 3-2 in a best-of-5 series, I think they did a tremendous job to give Andrade the opportunity to fight for the United States Heavyweight Championship as a reward for winning this series is perfect. But I kind of feel like LA Knight is going to get caught in the crossfire here, because I really feel like Carmelo Hayes is going to blow this whole thing up. There's an opportunity here that we might get a triple threat at Bad Blood for the U.S. Heavyweight Championship. Carmelo versus LA Knight versus Andrade. If they do this, who knows how this looks? This might even be better to have these three go at it, because you can tell just adding Andrade and Carmelo together has been magical. If you add LA Knight to the mix, who knows? We might have ourselves a sleeper fight of the night here at Bad Blood, possibly. 3.25, 3.5, second best fight of the night. Anthony Foyo, it's yours.
3.25, 3.5, second best fight of the night. Much like their previous 4 matches, this was a show-stealing performance from both men. They managed to make each bout feel different, which is not easy in a situation like this. In the crowd, we saw the shots of Hall of Famers Booker T, Sharmell, and Michael P.S. Hayes, along with Sheamus. And also there, Hall of Famers Teddy Long, Ron Simmons, and he also had William Regal, Bobby Roode, and Damian Priest. And Carmelo Hayes is so good at making difficult things look easy. His senton over the top rope looked flawless, and Andrade was a bit too tired to get Melo up for a powerbomb at one point. Friday night on SmackDown in Sacramento, California, at that Golden One Arena, that beautiful new Golden One Arena, the home of the Sacramento Kings. I mean, yeah. It's LA Knight and Andrade for the United States Heavyweight Championship. I could see MF's theory possibly coming to fruition. Maybe Carmelo Hayes, ends up giving us a clunky finish, and Nick Aldis may have no choice but to make a triple threat at Bad Blood. I mean, I could see that. I really could. So, we're gonna have to wait and find out. But 3.25, 3.5, second best fight of the night for me. So there isn't anything else left to say, except I believe this is where we had the big ending here, right?
This was the big ending. So Nick Aldis announced earlier in the night that there was going to be a tag team match set up at Bad Blood. Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu were going to face Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes in a tag team match. Now, Cody went into the locker room. Well, before they did anything, Solo and Jacob signed the contract. So their signatures were already on it. It was done. Legal drew up the paperwork. Solo and Jacob signed immediately. They didn't even hesitate. They signed the contract. They were done. Cody comes out and said, "You know what? I'm not doing this. I want nothing to do with the bloodline. I'm done with the bloodline. In my mind, I've wiped my hands clean. I'm out. I don't want nothing to do with this." So Roman comes out And he basically kind of alludes to, you know what? I'm the tribal chief. I'm the real tribal chief. It is what it is, whatever. They tried to do a bloodline beatdown. Cody came out and they cleared it. They cleared the ring. The contract's lying on the ground. Roman signed. Cody signed. It's official. At Bad Blood, we're going to get it. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns are teaming up to take on Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu in a tag team match. Well, this just got interesting. And you can tell there's still a little bit of some animosity between Roman and Cody. Obviously, Cody was the one that ended the longest reign in WWE history. He was the one to beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And you can tell Roman has not forgotten about it. Can they coexist? Can they be on the same page? I'll say this, the fans are kind of starting to turn on Cody too, if you notice. There was some boo birds on Cody Rhodes. I don't know. This is gonna get very interesting. Solo's trying to manipulate it and saying, you don't like each other. You can't coexist. You can't work together. You remember what he did? He's the one that took the belt from you at WrestleMania. Well, whatever the case may be, there's a common enemy. And you guys are it. So maybe this one time, Roman and Cody will try to work together. Can they coexist? Is the $1 million question. We're gonna have to find out in a few weeks when Bad Blood go down in the ATL in Hotlanta. And Anthony Florio, it did get hot. Especially this closing segment because, oh my goodness.
Amazing segment here. Like MF said earlier in the show, Cody Rhodes refused an offer to team with Roman Reigns to take on Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. So Nick Aldis and Roman Reigns came out to close the show. Cody eventually joined them in the ring. Before much could happen, Solo and Fatu came out. GOD, Guerrillas of Destiny, attacked Cody and Roman, but were taken out. Roman signed the contract for the tag match and reluctantly handed it to Rhodes, who inked his name to end the show. Yes. Great segment. This was obviously this was by default the segment of the night. I mean, this story just continues to get more and more interesting as we move along, and that now the $1 million question at Bad Blood: can Cody and Roman coexist? That is going to be a sight to see. That's going to be the main talking point for this match. We know Solo and Jacob can coexist, but can Cody and Roman coexist without trying to rip each other's heads off? Because there's obviously some, no pun intended, bad blood between those two stemming back from WrestleMania. And I still have a feeling a rematch may be in order down the road. We don't know when, but all I do know is this was, without question, the segment of the night. A very exciting way to close out the show, and it'll set up one of the most anticipated tag team matches in quite some time when we see Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns team up against Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu at Bad Blood. Man, this Bad Blood event just keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter as it goes along. So, my goodness. So, segment of the night for me, so not much more to say. Michael Bullock, oh boy, what a main event we got for Bad Blood. Cody and Roman against Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Can Cody and Roman coexist? I don't know.
Yeah, that's going to be the $1 million question going into this match. Can Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns coexist? Because, like you said, it was Cody who ended the long run of Roman Reigns as the undisputed champion. And, yeah, I mean, we'll let's see what happens here. I mean, we know Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa will get along, but will the other side be able to? That's going to be something to keep an eye on. So, yeah, segment of the night, hands down. So, overall thoughts on this first episode of SmackDown as it returns to USA.
Anthony Floyer, you lead off.
Oh yes. I gotta say somewhere around 7.5 to 8 out of 10. For the first episode, well, actually more like 8 to 8.5, really. For the first episode of SmackDown on USA, this was not a bad first entry. We got a couple of fun matches, a few segments to move storylines forward, and a title match was even booked for next week. The best in-ring match on the show was Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes, but Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa did a great job in the cage. The only thing worth skipping, like MF mentioned, was Piper Niven versus Michin because it was so short. That was an absolute dud. So solid 8 out of 10 for me. So a very good return to USA for Friday Night SmackDown, and we'll see what happens from here. So solid 8 for me. So Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a solid 8 for me as well. I mean, it was a good show. I mean, the only thing that was disappointing. I mean, the only thing that was bad was obviously the match with Piper Niven and Michin. I mean, that was the worst fight of the night. But everything else I thought was solid. And so yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, you have the final say.
All right, yeah, 7.5 to 8 out of 10 is the right 8 to 8.5 is the right rating. Absolutely tremendous show. Really nothing more to add. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the AEW Collision as a Mikey's Mindset, so you guys can just sit out on this one, and I'll even do an MLW show that went down, and I'll do that as a Mikey's Mindset for you guys as well. So, AEW Collision that was from the Nutter Center in Dayton, Ohio. It was originally taped on the Thursday, and it was aired last night. Jack Perry went up against Christopher Daniels for the TNT title. Jack Perry won in 5 minutes and 4 seconds. Then after that, the next thing we had was Kyle O'Reilly, Mark Briscoe, and Hologram. They went up against the Beach Mortals, Tony Nese, and Arya Davari. It was the Face Squad winning the match in 10 minutes and 37 seconds. Then after some vignettes and stuff, Wheeler Yuta against Anthony Henry. Wheeler Yuta winning the match in 9 minutes and 2 seconds. Then we had Commander and Private Party. They went up against some local guys. They won. Private Party and Commander winning the match in a minute 37. Then we had Yuki Sakura. She went up against Serena Deeb. Yuki winning the match in 10 minutes and 39 seconds. Then after that, we had was the Bang Bang Gang. Juice Robinson and the Guns. They went up against Bishop Kong, Tonga Laya, and Brian Cage, and it was the Bang Bang Gang winning in 10 minutes and 35 seconds. Queen Aminata and Ramen Renegade went at it. Queen Aminata winning in 3:03. And in the main event, FTR versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. FTR winning the match in 9 minutes and 20 seconds. And that was AEW Collision. So, final part of the night, or the final little thing I'm going to get into is MLW. That went down. Let me just get that very quickly, y'all. And normally I don't really cover MLW, but this was one of those type of shows where it just needed to be addressed. So I'm like, you know what? We normally don't talk about MLW, but it kind of feels like it deserves an opportunity to get highlighted. You could tell nowadays it is getting more work with Dario Cueto and everything else. This was from the center stage in Atlanta, Georgia. And it was streamed live, as a matter of fact, guys, on YouTube. If you go to MLW YouTube page, you can watch the show in its entirety. They had the show. We had TJP versus Kenta in a Opera Cup semifinal match. When it was all said and done, Kenta winning the match in 10 minutes and 23 seconds. Then we had was Bad Dude Tito versus Mystico in the other semifinal match, and it was Mystico winning the match in 8 minutes and 3 seconds. Then we had Timothy Thatcher going one-on-one with Donovan Dijak, and it was Dijak winning the match in 8 minutes and 16 seconds. Then a tag team fight, Alex Kamen and Mr. Thomas went up against C.W. Anderson and Brock Anderson, and it was the Anderson boys winning the match in 10 minutes and 44 seconds. Then we had was Okamura going one-on-one with Adam Priest. Okamura winning the match 6 minutes and 47 seconds. Then we had was Sagano Kohani versus Matt Kringer for the MLW World Heavyweight Championship, and it was Kohani winning the match in 7 minutes and 7 seconds via disqualification. Then in the finals, this was the final match of the Opera Cup, Mystico versus Kenta. When it was all said and done, it was Mystico winning it all. 17 minutes, 49 seconds to win the tournament. And that was MLW. They are done for the night, and we are done for the night. So on Monday night, tomorrow night, is another edition of Ridiculously Raw, hosted by Anthony Floyo. Anthony will have Monday Night Raw. He also had his TNA special, which I believe was No Surrender, Anthony?
No, it was Victory Road.
Victory Road. The last event before Bound for Glory. He'll break all that down. That'll be at 11 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday Night Madness, AEW, Dynamite, and NXT. Thursday, College Football Thursday. Friday, NFL Friday. And we will be back 1 week from now on Saturday for another edition of where we do another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. We will have Collision. It'll probably be this from now on. SmackDown Live will be our main topic, but I will do AEW Collision, and I might do MLW if there is an MLW show. We'll do it that way from now on. So, all right, guys, we're out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night, everybody. And until then, so long for now. Bye-bye.